I'm Donna Fields, and welcome to CLIL Scaffolding 13. It's a series of webinars designed to help give you support for using scaffolding in your lessons. Today we're going to use scaffolding technique number 112. 101 more of these techniques can be found in my book, 101 Scaffolding Techniques for Language Teaching and Learning, that's also been translated into Spanish. I've been working with a school that's just turned over to student-centered learning, and both the teachers and the students are getting used to the change. So the scaffold I'm presenting here is intentionally not as active as some of the others because the students aren't yet at the point where they can learn autonomously with a lot of movement and materials. We're moving towards that gradually. You'll also notice that we're going to scaffold the scaffold. Let's start with a secondary language class. Here's a page the students need to read and learn. This is a mixed level class, so we need to present a scaffold that will challenge the more advanced students and support the lower level students. What can we do? Well, we want to make the information as visible as possible because, first of all, the text plus images doubles the learning. And when we make learning visible, we help the students to learn to become their own teachers. And that's crucial in becoming a lifelong learner. Here's a visible way of seeing the same information. You see, I've taken the background photo from the page you just saw, then I've taken the language that's potentially difficult for the students, found images to represent this language, and inserted it all in the picture. I've done this twice. If you look at both at the same time, you'll see that there are different images in both pictures but placed in the same locations. This means the students will have to look back and forth and focus on the differences, describe these differences, and in doing so, they'll be teaching themselves the academic language that later they'll find in the text that they're responsible for reading. So how do we begin? Well, we begin with a short PowerPoint, presenting the phrases the students will need to use during an oral exam, for instance. Left-hand corner, upper right-hand corner, center, middle. Next, we present the academic language we've made visible. We go over the academic language quickly and use translanguaging techniques if necessary to make sure that everybody has a strong understanding of the vocabulary, the terms, and phrasal verbs. We want them to have a very strong base after they do this task. The next step is to model what we expect our students to do in their pair work. We begin. Top. In the lower left-hand corner of the photo, there's a clock that says 9:30. The bottom. However, in the lower left-hand corner, there's a clock that says midnight. They'd continue doing this until they've identified all the photos. In this way, they've also been using all the academic language that they'll later see in the text. Lastly, we give the photos to each pair of students with a sheet that includes the terms we just went over, plus lines where they'll write their observations. Anytime you can include writing in the tasks, we're helping our students to practice key writing skills: planning, drafting, revising, and editing. Let's try this with a primary social science lesson. Now this is a little different and also a bit easier because the book itself provides images and they're easily cut and pasted in different places. As you see, the images on the 2 pages are all in different places. So again, we begin with a short PowerPoint and introduce the terms the students need to use to identify the images they see. We also review the academic language they'll be using so we're sure they understand what they're talking about. Next, we model the task so they know one way to complete the activity. Last, we give them both photos, the academic language, and a place to write down their sentences after they've formed them orally with their partners. And that's it, another simple scaffolding technique that I hope you can use in your classes. But look at the skills you've helped your students work on: making learning visible and developing and refining critical writing skills. So all you super teachers out there, I look forward to any comments you have and how you use the technique. I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, have fun in your classes. Bye.